Morning, folks. Excuse me. Day soap is brought to us by the way of Wet the Face, and this one here is Christmas time. Yep, last day of the July, last one for Christmas in July. This one here is not available on the site just yet. Be prepared for later on when it does come available. That's what it looks like there on the inside. Definitely a Christmas type scent or a holiday scent right around, I guess you might say, the October, November, December time frame, even going into January, but it's a pretty nice scent. I got these at two different times. You see, this is the was the latest label. The label before this one was this one. So in other words, when I was picking these up, I was a little late on the soap, but I was able to land the aftershave. But eventually, I got both of them, and for me, it's a nice scent. Works well with my nose. May not work well with yours. You know how it is. Your mileage may vary, type thing. Excuse me. And add a little bit of festivity to the colors and whatnot. Use a salsa bowl. This one here is made in Oklahoma, believe it or not. That's what it looks like there on the inside, all whipped up with a horsehair brush Vie Long. Now, the link I have down below for this is one. In other words, find this. I think Gibson Care is about the only place I can think of right offhand where you can find a red one. The link I've got down below is one where the handle is black, and they do offer the red one, but it looks like they're out of stock. But anyhow, it's whipped up here. It was pretty easy to use this bowl. It's lightweight. I think it was $1.47, something like that. Pretty inexpensive, but it works just fine. With the legs on there, it's easy to hang on to. About fits in the palm of the hand pretty easy. But nice color for Christmas, right? Shaver of the day. Some may remember when this one here came out. This is the Parker Adjustable Injector. Kind of see what it looks like there. Oh, it's got settings 1 through 5 on there. I have been shaving with this one, as well as, let's see if I can hold it up there right. Let's do it this way. This one. I've been doing side by side for the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, doing a side by side. There is a difference, and I know they look very similar. And you can see that this one says Parker. That's version 2. This one's version 1. And they look identical outside of the Parker. Everything else, you know, to the eye, nobody's probably going to be able to really tell any kind of difference between them. And but so the biggest difference on version 2 is that it says Parker right here. Version 1 does not have that. I've got a link down below to Minute 59 Mark, his take on the first version and the second version of this adjustable. The excuse me. I got a fly in here also, a little friend. He has his take on it, his experience with it, with the first version as well as the second one. If you go to Safety Save, Super Safe, anyway, I got the link down below for the Super Safety Razor, where they offer this for, I think it's $32 or $34. Comes with a 20 pack of blades, and it also has a blade loaded in. I should mention that too. But it comes, how can you say, well prepared. This will be the 6th shave on this particular blade. When I first started out, I was just doing a side-by-side for me to try to be able to tell the difference in between version 1 and version 2. And the first shave, you know, I couldn't tell the difference. And the second shave, maybe, by the time I finally got to the third shave, the right side was version 1, left side version 2. By the time I got to the third shave, I finally picked up on where the differences are. And there, if you heard about if you're looking for an aggressive injector, this is not for you. This is, in case you might say, on the upper end of mild or the bottom end of medium, going to mild. And what I had figured out as it goes for shaves that would probably work out for a number of people. For me, I start out with the highest setting, and then I'll go from 5, 4, and 3. And the one thing I can say about setting 3 is against the grain, it is very smooth against the grain. That's, for me, I don't have a need to go any lower than 3. But to me, those 3 settings, you know, working down the, I guess you might say, the aggressiveness of the levels there, it worked really nice. Very smooth against the grain with setting 3. Your mileage may vary. You know, it's one of those things where it depends on what your taste is. When my son tried out version 1, he preferred setting 5 on all three all three passes. And my son, my youngest son, he's 17, and matter of fact, he likes his favorite razor is a Gillette flare tip, and it's the I guess you might say the medium aggressiveness, but he really likes that razor. He likes the feel of the blade. He's tried some milder shavers, and he prefers to have that blade feel. And like I said, your mileage may vary, just depends on what you're looking for. But for me, there is just a difference in between version 1 and version 2. And so if you was looking for something a little bit different and you haven't tried an injector, this one here just might be what you're looking for in the way of something that's, I guess you might say, easy to start to get used to, because it really is. For me, it's very similar in the way of learning the angle. It's very quick to pick up on this injector as well as a DE. But for me, I'm an injector fan, so in other words, I try to keep my opinions, I guess you might say, somewhere in the middle of the road, but I really do enjoy injectors. To me, they're really easy to find the angle, get used to, and one like this one here, to me, just works just fine. Once again, we're going to go ahead and get started with setting 5. Yeah, setting 5, and once again, this is the 6th use on this blade, so we'll go ahead and get started. If it helps any at all for some folks, I was looking for a comparison in between this particular shaver and maybe one that somebody else may have used. In other words, but it's not a Schick, something different than a Schick, in other words. And I have a PAL Injectomatic, and if you've used a PAL Injectomatic and if you felt like it was right on the money, it's a touch more aggressive than what this one is on setting 5. If you're looking for something milder, this one here just might be what you're looking for, especially if you're looking for a modern injector that isn't going to be too terribly expensive. In other words, right around the $30, $34 mark kind of fits the bill for some folks' budget. And if you're looking for just something inexpensive to start with in the way of injectors, this would probably be a good start. And it might be the finish too, just depending on how well you like it. A lot of people have used a Schick injector, so if you're familiar with the different types, in other words, usually the E's and G's are the type that are pretty familiar with a lot of folks. If you like the L type, I guess you might say a little bit newer version. I know that's a fairly popular one where you can get some fairly comfortable shaves, kind of fits the middle of the road type shave. Go ahead and move this to setting 4 before I forget. Talking and shaving, it takes a little bit of focus. But for me, the shaves are pretty nice. I've been shaving with them all week. And once I got to the point where I could tell the difference between them and recognize that the difference between 5, 4, and 3, there's a big difference in between 3 and 5. There's very noticeable. Just a slight difference in between 4 and 5, and there is more of a noticeable, at least for me, between 4 and 3. I thought that kind of felt like that if I went ahead and shaved with them the length of time that I did, that I'd have a better opinion or experience with them, be able to share what I was experiencing with them, instead of just doing 1 or 2 shaves with it on video. But I've been enjoying my shaves with it. So what did I use for soap? I used different soaps to give me some sort of idea how it performs with different kinds. I used Presso. I also used palm olive. Matter of fact, my palm olive stick I ground up and put in my Old Spice mug here, and it is, yeah, there it is. I'm getting down to the very bottom of it. Those were the two soaps that I used. I was switching in between them to see if there's any difference in between the performance of the razor as well as the soaps, and really didn't notice. I didn't notice any difference in between them. So in other words, soap wasn't playing a factor in what the shave feel was like. I enjoy using those soaps. Just, off camera, they're right there, handy over there. I enjoy using them, quick and easy, basic, if you will. It's not that I don't enjoy using the other soaps, but nothing like grabbing your brush and a mug and just getting busy with it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It is not necessarily a lost art, but it's not one that's practiced like the cartridge are and the stuff in the can. I don't know. I have thought about it off and on for, I don't know, 2 years maybe, about doing a video with vintage gear, or traditional, I should say. In other words, something like this here in a canned stuff that's still out in the market. From time to time, I think about it, but it's flashbacks from days gone by and how bad those shaves were with the cartridge and then the can, the two. To me, I relate the two, and it's like I really don't have much of a desire to do that again. I guess it would probably be about 4 years ago. I did try a gel with a DE, and it didn't go so well. More along the lines of felt like I ended up with razor burn. So, like I said, I'm not too eager to try that again. Even though I know my technique has probably improved greatly. Alright, go ahead and turn this to setting number 3. Like I said, 3 against the grain is very smooth for me. It's just enough that I know that the cutting edge is there, but very smooth on my neck. In other words, if I was to go across a spot on my neck several times, I don't feel like I'm risking any kind of getting irritation or anything quite like that. For some folks, against the grain is probably the most trickiest pass for them, and with an adjustable razor, whether it's an injector or a DE, offers the opportunity to change that setting so your against the grain pass is somewhat smoother than if you left it at one setting. Like I said, I've got a link down below for all this good stuff if you're interested in checking out, with the exception of the salsa bowl. I found it at Walmart. Looking for a pizza cutter and saw this. Pizza cutter handle was the same color. Anyway, got a few salsa bowls I use for travel from time to time, but in other words, you don't have to have a real expensive shaving bowl. A bowl in the kitchen that works well in your hand. Salsa bowl like this here. Matter of fact, one of my favorite bowls came from a thrift store. Was it 99 cents, $1, something like that. It was really inexpensive, and I really do like that bowl. You don't have to have real expensive bowls to enjoy bowl leathering, but it just depends on what you like and what you're after. I do have if you watch some of my videos, I got a couple of wooden bowls that I do enjoy, and they're made a little bit different. One's just got circles, grooves in it, and then the other one's a spiral, and one's walnut and cherry. And I do enjoy using them. They're awesome bowls, but they're not exactly cheap compared to a salsa bowl. Shave is very smooth. I got just a little bit left. In other words, if I was to work at it on the against the green pass. Probably could have got a little bit closer, but definitely fits my bill for my kind of shaves. Go ahead and get the alum block here. This one here is Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Comes with a rubber band. This one here is an older container. In other words, the newer stickers will look different than this one here. And it seems to be kind of typical. Every once in a while when I'm shaving and talking, I get my pressure off just a wee bit. Got a little bit of stinging right there, but outside of that, it's good to go. Stirling Witch Hazel, this one here is unscented, but it is mentholated, and it is getting pretty low. Alright. It's a pretty good deal, I would have to say. You get a shaver and 20 blades. Really can't complain about that price. And it's for a new injector, not a vintage one, if that makes a difference for some folks that kind of being on the fence, you know, a new injector. In other words, you get to break it in. It's just one of those things. Over time, you know, the vintage show wear and tear. Well, if you get a new one, you get to put the wear and tear on it. All right, aftershave. This one here, like I say, these sort of scents kind of work well with my nose. The scent off of the puck versus the scent off of the aftershave is slightly different, but it's probably going to be more on the dry down. That's what the restrictor looks like. When they come together, I guess you might say, in the way of the scents. Definitely gets you ready for Christmas. Temperatures around here, don't know what it's like where you're at. Heat index 105, 113. It's been quite high. Very warm. Sunday, though, is supposed to cool down to the 80s. Looking forward to that. Excuse me. I had a great shave. Face feels wonderful. Going to be smelling good today. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and smooth shaves to you.